Oh, Joshua Cutter, he's here. Hello, man. How are you doing? Open the link. Excited for the stream. Yeah, today we will be discussing our previous challenge and we'll discuss all the works. Everyone will receive feedback. I'm getting you, so I'm also pretty good. And so maybe a bit later, after discussing all the things, we will model something, because I'm still working on the exterior set. Hello to everyone. Yeah, so, and скажите мне, пожалуйста, если все фидбэк нужно дублировать на русском. Я, в принципе, могу каждый разбор дублировать на русском. Сначала на английском, потом на русском, если нужно. Потому что я знаю, что у нас много русскоязычных ребят участвовало. Так, итого. So, and we'll start from the first places, and everything was in my Discord channel. There will be more challenges. I attach the link in the description. You can join, you can participate, so there are some small prizes, but first of all, it's just about like putting cool works in your portfolio, just to motivate you to do something, because sometimes it's really hard to make something for yourself. But when you can see when other people are doing the same, so it's like some kind of small competition and you're trying to do more, you're trying to do best, and if you're persistent enough, so you can put really good work into your portfolio, and I think it's the main prize for every challenge, because all the prizes, so they're not even close to this, like, of this feeling when you're putting something new in your portfolio and you know that it's not a commercial project, it's just your personal one. So, but enough talking, so let's go. So we have 21 participants per this challenge. So as for me, it's more than for the previous one, because so I decided to make it easier. So because previous one was about a game-ready model, this one is the design challenge. I think the next one will be also about design, because we won't care a lot about technical requirements. We will be focused on creating something interesting, some cool shapes, and so on. Да, всем привет. Вот, еще раз прошу, если нужно дублировать, мы продублируем на русском. Точнее, я продублирую. So, and we will start from the first place. So the first place is by visible. We will start from work in progress shots, and it was so we can see the process of creation, so everything was done in Blender. Also, I'm curious about how all these shapes were created, because they are so clean. And as I know, this man is working in 343 Industries, so he's working on Halo. So maybe he knows some tricks about how to make these shapes. Um, and also I really like these work in progress screenshots, and I don't know, I really like this substance, and it's something, some kind of mystery, some kind of science fiction. And I really don't know why it wasn't included in the final shot, because it's so, I don't know, from one hand it's scary, and from another one, so it's really interesting to observe. And on the final shot, so we have just really clean glass, and actually the picture is not contrast. I don't know why, so, but I really like this lighting. But anyway, so 100% it's the first place, because this person, so that he was just trying to do his best, like unusual shapes, so it's not boxes, and we can see the good combinations of main shapes, middle shapes, and small details everywhere, and everything is combined really great. So it reminds me on Warframe style, or maybe Destiny bit. Yeah, this one is super cool. So maybe one thing to improve it, so maybe I would add all the slides, bring them back to the final picture, and also I will add a bit more contrast, because I actually did it for when I was posting it, because when you just add a bit more contrast, so you will see even more details, so it's even more appealing, because now it's, as for me, a bit of a lack of contrast. And it can be even more interesting if we add these strange shapes and this light, so, and it will be just top notch. So that's all about the first work. So let's come back. Second place. Second place. So second place started from this work in progress screenshot, and I really like all these modern shapes. The final shots are even better, because he was working not only on exterior, so we also can see these close patterns here inside, and it's like really cool one. I think it's even more interesting from the inside than from outside, because here you can see some um, non-square shapes, so it's not boxes, so it's something organic, and it's always a good idea, so when you're trying to add some organic shapes to your models, because it will make it more alive, some like hanging cables, or maybe some clothes parts. And we can see also clothes variant. There's also, we can see hanging cables. Overall shapes are really great. Maybe I would like to make them the base shape. I would make it more more interesting, maybe to add more like big cuts, or maybe to change it, because from the first view you just can see how it was done, because you can see this chamfer here, 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 so, and we just can see these cuttings, and detailing, so I would prefer like to see more these shapes. So when you're trying to combine, not cutting from one shape, when you're trying to combine different shapes, or at least you have the general big shape and trying to change it with some middle shapes or so. Other than that, so the presentation is great, so you can find this work on the ArtStation, and there is really good presentation, and I wish for the placement for the first place, so the same quality of presentation, because it's like really awesome. Let's go further. Third place. We'll start from the first work in progress screenshot. So pretty ordinary, so we can see the general shapes. Now it looks easier, but now we can see like how Marshall was thinking about how to make it not so boring, actually, like by adding some additional transitions and connections and combining them with other shapes. Also we can see lighting. The good idea was to add the human inside because it's making the picture like more alive just right here. So we're just putting some scale reference and you can compare it, and it's really good. And here we can see the final work, some frozen glass, beautiful screens, and also I like that he had changed all these cables because the previous variant was pretty weak, and this one is really good one because it's more believable. He had changed lighting, and we can see also open version. What we can improve here, so I really like how he was trying to combine different shapes, and in the same moment they are pretty simple. And on another hand, so we have some really cool ideas. But so I really don't like some places, for example, like here, because it's something, so it looks a bit, this part looks not like it belongs here, so some strange angles, because we have some smooth transitions here and there, and right here, so we just have these strict angles, and I don't know, so maybe he just didn't have time. Also, I would remove some symmetrical parts, because he had done good work on this point, because he moved screens to the right side, this screen to the left side. So I have some questions. What is actually the purpose of this screen? Because he's showing the same, and maybe it would be better like to place it somewhere here. But anyway, the general shape is really great. And I think on the next challenge, Marshall will take the first place because he is growing, he is going to become more strong, and like from challenge to challenge I can see that quality is improving, that he is experimenting with different designs. What I would like to improve overall in this portfolio, in this work, so I would follow more about what shapes you're using, because here you have smooth shapes, here you have some strict angles, so, and you should be more careful about how you combine them actually, because if you decided to choose for example something like this, I would try to use these transitions in other places. So a bit more and it would be first place. Hello guys, so that's all about third place. Let's move further. So further we will go through the final works, and I really appreciate everyone who had finished this challenge, because as we can see there are also 9 people who participated but didn't have enough maybe time or something else like to finish it. So final work by Anthony. We have some work in progress. An interesting choice of the shape, because I expected a lot of boxes and I received a lot of boxes, but I was surprised by some people who decided to experiment with something else. And we can see the process of syncing different variants. I uploaded some days to the project. Could you review it also? So I have taken everything from the Discord channel and what you have done, so everything will be here. So, and as we can see, here is sub-D model, and as you can see, I like the silhouette. And here we have, I think it's close to the final, and it's final submission. And it looks interesting, but it's hard to say what is it. So what is the purpose of this thing? So is it so you don't have any connections about what is devoted to. So you can guess that it's some kind of a door, but other than that, so there is like no connection. Is it cryo chamber or it's easily can be something else? Hard to say. So, and also I would like to add some maybe more small details, some inscriptions, because now it's just really clean. So like white, so a couple of colors, and that's all. If you add like more connections to the topic, like more details, so it would be really great work. So I wish you to just finish it, maybe to tweak it somehow, and then it will be really good work for your portfolio. So let's go further. So Artem Kuznetsov. So I don't know why I put it to the final. Was it the final or not? But anyway, let's have a look. So here we have some Bulgaro style, and I think it was Fusion 360 or Moi. I don't know where it was done. And here we have, I think, the final variant of this cryo chamber. And I like the amount of details, and we can guess that some of them are really useful, but it's also really hard to guess what's going on here, because we have a lot of small details, some lines. I know how it was done, so just by cutting, but in my opinion it should be a bit more understandable for the viewer, so what's going on. Maybe it can be done by adding some inscriptions, or maybe by adding some focus points, because now you just can observe all the picture and it's not clear so what is the main part of this technique. Anyway, I like colors, I like details. Maybe I would change a bit the distribution of these lines, because they are really even. I like how it was done here, because you have some details here, some empty space, a lot of empty space. And don't be scared by putting like empty space to the model. You just need to have some areas which are very detailed, and you just need to have like some rest for your eyes, like for example in this area. Other than this, so I would say that this work is a bit outstanding, because we have like box shapes, but they are really well done, as for me, because as we can see there is a combination of different simple shapes, and in this way you can receive something new, something original. So let's go to the next one. Bed crack. So we'll start from the work in progress. So here we can see the beginning a bit further. So I think there is a lot of animations. Here we have even more details. We have the character from Unreal Engine. to the scale, I think, closer to the final, more details, more everything. So, and here we have the end, the final. So I really don't know why this person has put this work into the final, because here we can see like really strange lighting, so, or maybe not lighting at all. So, but on this shot we have like just too many lights and too many fog and too many like effects with all these frozen scenes, and it's hard to understand what's going on here because of all these effects. So I would recommend you to just work on this shot, but with really simple lighting, like maybe 3-point lights or so, and just trying to light it to show all the details without like hiding weak points by the effects. So it's a good thing, but if it's just a bit, not like when you are trying to fix the whole picture by these effects. Other than that, so it's really hard for me to understand why like the scale of some elements, because for example of this metal part, so, and it's like really huge one, and what is the purpose of all this. So it looks like he was trying to fill all the empty space by something. So not to have empty space at all. Maybe it's the main problem of this work. So when you can see, so there is like no rest for your eyes. So in every place you can see something, like not free space at all. So just don't be scared by like leaving like more free space. For example, here, maybe here we have just free space without anything, and only, for example, here you have like a lot of small details, here a lot of small details, and it's okay, it's how it works in the real world. Now it's hard to understand what's going on, hard to focus because of this amount of details and because of these effects. So as for me, everything can be fixed, and I would start from distributing maybe the details in another way, and then I would try to light it properly, and maybe I would add some lighting, for example from here, from this gray chamber, just to have some main elements on these screenshots, because for example from like judging from this picture, it's not clear, so is it cryo chamber or another machine, so what is the main part of this machine. And also we have colors everywhere, so they're mixing in a wild way. But it was done, so the final work can be improved, will be improved, I hope. So let's go further. Keros Widow Kassen, I think I'm right, so I'm sorry if I pronounce it not right. So it's work in progress screenshot. I think another work in progress, so I think it was done for the Unreal Engine. I can judge from all this checker texture. And actually it's the final work. I think everything, maybe it's decals, maybe it was done by this face weighted normals and decals technique, I don't know. So it looks a bit stylish, like maybe a bit cartoon. So, and we didn't have any requirements about like should it be realistic or not. So, and I would say that's really great work for its own style. And also we can see a good scale for all the elements. Maybe what can be changed, I would maybe experiment more with the shapes, because now we have a lot of middle shapes. It's hard to understand big shapes. And as for me, so when you're just looking at this picture, so you can see a lot of boxes, like here, 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 so like here, like everywhere. So you can see these boxes, like just much boxes. So it's like a cryo chamber for a boxman. And even considering that that he was trying to combine all these boxes together. So anyway, so it's like two boxing. So maybe it was the idea, but I would make like less middle shapes, or maybe to place like less these boxes, or maybe just to remove some of them. About materials, so everything is pretty clean. Maybe I would make it a bit more shiny, but I really like these cables and all these materials, so it looks very believable. So hopefully it was done for Unreal Engine, and it will be used in some maybe game projects, who knows. Really great work. Yeah, and again, so we can see some boxes. Yeah, so it's maybe the main weak point of this work, but if you're working on some boxy style cartoon models, so everything is okay. Let's go to the next one. It's hen. Okay, so and as we can see, this person started from the really big idea, so like to create something huge. So I was really impressed by the scale of this project. A bit further, and so we can see more and more details. And I really like so what's going on here, because you can understand how it works, and you can believe in this. На русском, пожалуйста. Хорошо, я потом переведу. So a bit further, so we can see some. It's again Unreal Engine. So I don't know, was it the same with the decals, because as I can see some details are here. So we can see another one. And I really appreciate this screenshot, because there are like cool materials, like a mix of interesting shapes. Maybe I would add glass here, but I really like this. But it's work in progress screenshot. Let's have a look what was done for the final shot. And can you guess what is cryo chamber? So where it's hiding? Because I just can see the amount of details, and it can be really anything. So you don't have any contrast points, or maybe just or the lighting is the same for the whole objects. Not clear what's going on. And on the opposite, so you can see this work in progress screenshot when your forms and your shapes are really well readable. And here, so so maybe cryo chamber is here, who knows, maybe this one, I don't know. We can see another shot, and again, so everything what was achieved by the in the process or was lost just because of bad render. So if you have main objects, somehow you need to show it, maybe by colors, maybe by lights. Here you just lost everything, so you just see some generic details everywhere. So we have lighting here, but it doesn't matter because it does just nothing. And also I would maybe be more careful about putting details, or just putting them more to closer to each other, because it's a work where also is problem with an absence of empty space on the model. Так, и так как меня просили на русском, вот, отличная работа, отлично вот в прогрессе, видно, какая была задумка, что вообще происходит, как это вообще работает, это отлично. Unreal Engine 4, не знаю, почему было использовано, но ладно, возможно, это просто игровая модель, и потом с декалями. Так. Обычно на русском, тоже на русском удобнее, но все же английский легко воспринимается. Ну да, я все тут немного ограничен в своих познаниях, поэтому у меня все это, все по-деревенски, по-простому. Вот. И вот эта работа, которая в прогрессе была сделана, то есть вот это вот выглядит намного лучше, чем финальная работа. Потому что здесь есть как раз вот пустые места, здесь есть вот красивые материалы, здесь вот есть интересное освещение. Ты можешь видеть весь объект, и он выглядит прикольно. Вот. Почему-то в финальном варианте работа не выглядит почти никак. Ты просто смотришь, и такое сразу нагромождение деталей. Нет никаких... Ты не понимаешь, где главный элемент, где там второстепенный. То есть, по идее, надо было выделить как бы капсулу. И тут вроде бы есть даже светильник, который должен как-то прям подсвечивать главные объекты, может там давать какие-то интересные контуры, но по факту нет. По факту он здесь вообще ничего не решает. Просто какой-то вот такой заполняющий свет со всех сторон, на котором потерялась, вся крутизна, вот то, что было сделано вот здесь. Поэтому всегда помните, когда вы делаете какую-то работу, вот, что вам нужно не только хорошо сделать, но и хорошо показать. Потому что вы можете сделать хорошо, а потом сказать: ой, у меня нет времени, я отрендерю это за 10 минут, и, в принципе, похоронить весь свой результат, свой, не знаю, недельной работы. Вот. И еще здесь, вот здесь вот деталей мелких почти не было, и оно выглядело даже лучше, чем вот здесь вот с деталями. То есть с деталями перебор. То есть надо было немного добавить, и добавить их таким образом, чтобы они, заполняли какие-то, чтобы все равно оставалось место для отдыха, для глаз. Потому что сейчас, куда бы ты ни посмотрел, везде есть что-то. Должны быть такие места, где нет вообще ничего. И, собственно, это все. Поэтому я бы немного почистил детали, поставил по-другому освещение, подобрал бы какие-нибудь материалы более интересные и точно бы отделил главный объект от второстепенных. Это может быть там цвет, материал, все что угодно, но сейчас вот это в таком виде я бы в портфолио не ложил. Вот эта вот работа нравится мне в разы больше, чем вот эта вот финальная. Be careful about Putin. So I will try to be careful about Putin because KGB is here, so they're just listening to me like every minute. So let's go further for the next works. Hugo G89. So, and let's start from this one. So we can see how he started from the cylinder, so we can see this cut. I don't know, is it? Yes, and it's another shot, and it's closer to the final. I really like this style and mix of these shapes, for example here, because we can see some transitions, maybe not very clear shading, but we can see the idea. I guess it was done in 3D code or maybe in ZBrush, because we have some maybe not very good shading, but it doesn't matter at all, because if you can, for example, experiment with organic shapes and smooth transitions between elements, so it's really, really great. I really like this hanging cable. And let's go to the final, and we are here. What is not clear in this work is maybe the scale, because maybe it would be, is it glass or not? So for example, if you put here some human inside, it will be easier to read this clear chamber and to understand what's going on, because now it's just the cool object with some cool details, but you don't know so again how it's connected with this clear chamber. If I didn't know about this, so I wouldn't able to describe so what is it. So it's some kind of capsule, I don't know, cylinder. So is it the engine, or maybe so who knows? And that's why it's when you design something, you need to think about functions, and from the first view, it should be understandable. So what the object is, so what is the purpose of this object, because now it's really cool, and I really like so what's going on the back side, so it's really awesome, but the functionality is not clear. Let's go to the next one, inozemцев Pavel. Yes, this one. Again, we can see the object, we can see work in progress screenshot, and we can see the final work. So it's a bit in cartoon style, I would say, because and maybe because of the shape, or maybe because of it was the initial idea, but it reminds me of coffee machine. I don't know, so when I am just looking at this object, so I can say that it's a coffee machine. As for me, there is like no connections to cryo chamber, so maybe you should put like the human inside, so maybe it will change something, but all the shapes, so I think you just can to add this like a handle, and it will be like a really coffee machine, and that's all what I can say. So I really like it, but again, like the purpose of the scene so should be clear. So maybe some frozen glass, maybe some humans inside, maybe some. So we can see this actually pot. So maybe it's a bit better. But I really like how he is working with different implementing of different with different transitions and different implementations of different shapes, because I really appreciate so when people are thinking about how different elements are connecting. So you're just not putting one object into another object, so you're just thinking how it can be done in real world. And this work is a perfect example of implementation of this idea. And it could be like the first place, maybe just if the idea of this clear chamber will be was shown like clear for me. Other than that, so really wonderful work. I really like it. Maybe I don't understand a bit what's going on here, because when you're looking at every object, you are trying to understand how it works. And I can see like some details here, and I don't know so what's going on, so how it actually works, so what is the purpose of this part. Maybe I'm just too critical about some works, so I'm not so how to say it even. So it's not about like you, so it's more about like my vision, how I'm like see all these works and like all this challenge and requirements for this challenge. Other than that, so really great. So, and this person has received one product from the Gumroad, so because I really like this work. So unfortunately, not the winner. So next time, so it will be like for sure. Another final work by Konstantin Novak, India. Let's start from the work in progress. We can see some shapes, some 3 different lights. A bit further, I think, oh, it's actually the final work. We can see the human inside, some close materials, and you can see that close material, so it looks like pretty good. I recommend to everyone, so if you have the opportunity, just for adding like more forms in no time, just add some clothes, and it works great in most cases. Other than that, so I would say that the main problem of this work is bad lighting, because it's really glossy materials and you can't read shapes well. So it's not clear, so what's going on here. So that's why I would adjust lighting. And maybe I would make some shapes not so... Oh, here we have another shot. I think, I don't know, is it from the one part or not? But here we have the lighting is much better. And materials has changed. Свет переделал. Да, я понял. Yeah, this one is like much better than the previous light set. And you can see even like one-shot animation. But again, shapes. So let's try to avoid something like this, and then you can see, okay, it was a main shape. That's all. So I won't try it, so it's a sacred shape. It's... and that's all. So why not to try, for example, to cut it somewhere, for example here, or maybe to add some shapes here, so to make it more interesting, because from the main shapes you can see just the following of these box shapes everywhere. Try to experiment with implementing, like trying something, maybe triangles, or maybe different angles, or maybe combinations of different cubes. And for example, like it was with the work from the second place, the main shape was more interesting, because we had like not box, we had there something like this, like sorry. So, and again, it's more interesting than this one, as we have here. And if you, and it's like from the top view, for example, if you make from the side view something like this, so again, so it will be different. And if you combine these different projections, so already you receive something more interesting than this one. Other than this, so I like these mechanical elements, because it reminds me of something functional. I'm not sure that I like the basement of this, because it looks not very well implemented, because it's just standing here on the ground. Yeah, anything than this, so great work. So I would just experiment with more interesting base shapes. It's the main reason. Так, поехали дальше. Нечто хрустящее. So we can see work in progress. So we can see the final work. Hello from France. Hello. So work in progress and the final one. Good work, and I really like the simplicity and really simple shapes, but still it looks really great. Maybe I would add more details for some corners, because maybe it's just too simple. Let's come back. And also here, as I can guess, so there was some kind of animation. I think I can check it somewhere here. Yeah, here we can see the animation. And here I really have some questions. So I like this animation of opening in the end, but it's not clear for me. So if this capsule was hidden underground, so it would be better, because now it's just standing and you can go out from this cryo chamber. So now it's just the position is almost the same. So what was the reason about like to holding it in this position? Not clear. So maybe it was hidden and protected on the ground. Maybe. Also, I have questions for these elements. So because it's like out of scale as for me, and we have them everywhere. So maybe if you, for example, remove it here, here, so, and if you left this one and we'll make this line, for example, longer, like to make it just be different, it will be interesting than like just repetitions of big elements on the even scale, even distance. Other than that, so I don't know, so maybe just too simple. It's a good one, but if you add like more, like to change this shape a bit more, maybe to make some cuts here, because now it's just cylinder and like man in a cylinder, nothing more than this. Let's go further. So all the next work so will be without final shots, but anyway, we'll have a look. It's work in progress, and it's actually what I was talking about. So when I ranting about these combinations of different shapes, and it's like a really good example. So when it was like just simple cube, then we can see chamfers here, but anyway, so we can see how he tried to implement something else. So like not only cuts from all the sides, but also additions here and also here, and it already looks more interesting than just cutting something or like putting a lot of boxes. I really like how it's inside. So like the person here, all these buttons, a lot of details, and I really like this pattern. And you can guess how it works, because there are some handles when you just can hold this human, maybe before this cryo chamber operation. And again, so we can see that here it's just not a simple cut. Every shape so is added, so supported, so everything is not symmetrical. Really great work. I don't know why he didn't have time to finish it in time. I don't know why I can't open it, so let's open it here. Yeah, so this one. Yeah, really cool work. It is not this day, so okay, so I think he just didn't have time. Also, we have some cables on the cover here, and I think it could be really great work. Some animations also. Oh, awesome. I wish he had finished this work in time, because it looks like a very solid example of hard surface and how you can create like cool shapes without even touching some organic. So just cool barrels and combinations of simple shapes and chamfers. Really great. Another one, Iron Dwarf E1. Another interesting example of non-boxy shape, so something organic. And I can see a cool glass and some kind of basement, but I don't know, so that's all what we can see. So really cool idea. And it was like cryo chamber for a butterfly, but that's all what we have. So I wish we had like the final version of this work, because you can expect something new. And maybe he was like really comparing it with the natures and some natural forms. So maybe one day we'll see the final work from him. KZ. Another cool idea, because again, non-boxy, something new. So, and I was curious about how it will be in the end. Not only one screenshot, unfortunately only one screenshot. So we'll see. So maybe he will finish it a bit later. Another work. Okay. Yeah, so, and I really like this work in progress screenshot, so it's the last one. We can see like separate parts, good distribution of small details among the model. So maybe what I would change, so we have interesting shape from the front view, but from the side view, it's just something like this, just box. So it will be easier to fix it with just maybe to adding some cuts from the side view also, and from the top view to, and maybe to combine with another shape. Unfortunately, not final. Really like this, I don't know what is it, so, but actually I really like the amount of details and all these elements together, so maybe it's some kind of coolant. Maybe I would change a bit this cable because it's hanging not very well, so put it a bit lower to make it something like this. Anyway, not final unfortunately. Maybe on the next challenge we'll see more works from the lone wolf. Martin Tron. I was really amazed by the beginning because here we can see something new again, so not boring shapes, not boxes, and here we have the continuation of this story, but unfortunately that's all what we have. I think he started working on the top. I think then he'll add some changes for the shape from the top view, because now it's just again just a box. But unfortunately that's all what we have. Hopefully it will be finished. Memnock. So here we have again, I think it's Fusion 360 or so. A bit sad for sure, so not be sad, so next time we will be able to finish this challenge. But I hope that you will finish this work just for your portfolio, because the main thing is to put something new in your portfolio. Like, so work in progress screenshot number 1, number 2, and number 3. What we can say? An interest in smooth shapes, and interesting cuts, and we can believe that it works together because we have good connections between elements, and we even have like 2 different colors, but now it's just symmetrical scene, so everything is the same. So we have like the unique parts is here, so it's still work in progress, and further we go, I would, for example, to make some changes. You can use mirrored things, and it can save you some time, but in the end you still need to diversify this symmetry by adding some non-symmetrical elements, because now we just like symmetrized by 2 axes. So maybe it will be finished also, hopefully. Was fun exploring. Yes, and during all these challenges you just need to think about exploring, so that's what I appreciate, like in most of works, as you can see, when I can see some unusual shapes, something like not traditional, because when you search, for example, for some references, in most cases it's the same, so in most of the people, they are not trying to think outside of the box, so they just thinking, okay, it's human, so let's put this human in the box or cylinder, okay. And a bit before, so we can see so the example of sphere, so why it couldn't be sphere, so really you can try and explore, and I can believe that every shape can be interesting, you just need to know how to prepare it right. And during these challenges and for your personal works, you really have time to think about how it can be done, to experiment with something. Maybe it won't be like really great, and you will have some mistakes, but you will be like more confident about your actions. You will be able to create more original shapes, more unique, and it's actually what's matter in every challenge, at least for me. On our basic, um, we have only one screenshot, and there is a really good. So you can see how your eyes are looking at this man, at this reference, and it reminds me maybe people from the series which is called Altered Carbon. Uh, like this man was, his name was Bancroft or so. But if we have a look right, so it's just the beginning, nothing to even to talk about, so just some boxes. I think it was done like in maybe 10 minutes or so. Maybe there will be the continuation of the story. Now it's not clear, so what will be the final view. Так, решил напомнить, на всякий пожарный добавил несколько изображений. Великолепно. Мы посмотрим обязательно. So the next work from the Pavel Voskashchikov. Yep. So what we can see here. So when you are showing your work, when you are doing some presentation. So when you are trying to improve like your works by some tricky backgrounds, in some cases it can improve your work, but in this case, so you just can see how it was like used like for hiding some weak points of this presentation. I don't know why it was used, but okay. And here it's not clear what type of shapes we have, because we don't have like it's a bit organic shape, but again we have some like strict lines, and again some strange circles here, and it looks like this cryo chamber was melted by a high temperature, and because this shape is I don't know, maybe it was voxels or so, but anyway, so as exploration and as a beginning, so it's pretty great, so you can use it for sure. But when you are trying, so okay, I have chosen this way, you need to care about your shading more to understand shapes actually, because if you have a look at this light here and dark areas in this part, so you don't know what is actually the shape of this object. You can use these tools like for the exploration. Then, for example, you can add some other elements and you can define shapes, refine it. Now it's clear that it's cryo chamber, so it's good. Not clear, so what's about the shapes, but as an idea, so really great. Because you can notice that here we have like some our favorite boxy shapes. In here something just melted, maybe it's an ice cream cryo chamber, who knows. But again, it's just work in progress. And the last one is Rigby. Here we go again. So our favorite boxes. But here we have like an interesting idea about hiding this cryo chamber, because previously there wasn't any attempts to protect these cryo chambers from something. And here we can see how it just hiding in the wall. And I like these ideas. And it even can work with all the shapes. But it's not clear, so okay, you have this cryo chamber and it's hiding in the wall, but how you are going to work with these walls around this cryo chamber? It's still work in progress, but now we have some questions already. So that's all. Let's have a look one more time on the final works. In the first place, second one, third one. So anything from all the participants, you got maybe some ideas, or maybe you have learned something during this challenge by your works on works of other people. And what we can say in general, so think more about the functionality, about your object, what is the purpose of this, what is the function, because the shapes are following function of the object actually. Then you need to think, so what main shapes you will be using, and to make the interesting combination of big and middle shapes. And if you're okay on this level, so in most cases the whole object will be interesting to observe. And also, as we can notice, there was some problems about distribution small details and without any empty space. Think also about this. Think about the sense of scale, because if you have some objects from the real world, or for example the human inside of cryo chamber, so you can guess about the size of the object actually. And also don't forget about the final presentation of this of your work, because it's also important, because it maybe takes only 10% of the whole work, but it can improve your work significantly, or it can make it weaker also. And that's all about. Oh, so we have another one. Okay, okay. Yeah, now it's a bit clear, so what's going on. So next time, so you will be in time with all the screenshots. Yeah, this one is much more interesting. So when you can see how it works. Anyway, so I'm going to make like a new challenge soon, so you can participate in new design challenge. Uh, that's all about challenge, and I will have a look at time, because I was talking a lot, so maybe we can go back to the exterior in Unreal Engine 4, like just for a moment, because I was working not maybe a lot, but actually I had some time to finish details for all existing elements, and it means that all existing elements now have decals. And now what we have? And also I have idea about using triplanar mapping here, because now if you place the same objects in a row, so you can see uh, the same noise on every plate. You can actually rotate them, but it's not convenient, and I will put in the material the checkbox about like to enable and disable triplanar mapping. And it's maybe not very noticeable for small objects, but for example, like here is like just 16 meters. But if you try to create something like 2 times bigger, and it will be a big square, so it will be noticed from every distance. Thank you for challenge and all feedbacks. So you're welcome. Join Discord channel. The description link is in the description. There will be more interesting things. And what you should keep in mind that all these things, so they are actually for you. So it's a possibility like to put something new in your portfolio. I can just give you an interesting maybe topic, or maybe interesting from my point of view, and you have the ability like to do something interesting, to learn from other works, maybe to receive some not very honest feedback from me. And what we have here now, I have some basic elements, not everything at all. Also there will be some kind of basement for all these modules. It will be something like this, I think. And it can be done by different height. And also I need to think about some basement here, and again it should be a different height, because it can be placed on a different landscapes. And now I will be thinking about this, but still there is like a lot of work, and starting from the next week I will be working more and more on this project, so you can expect next streams next week, because I'm really interested in finishing this project and exploring materials deeper, because as I have noticed from some reviews from Jupyter Kit, you need more diversity in textures, and it can be added by vertex paint, and we will have a look what can be done. Before that I was thinking that it's like maybe not necessary, and every person has its own needs, and also it's easy to add this vertex paint, but I think it must be added on my side, and just to have a possibility to turn on or off all these vertex paint transitions. So, так, что у нас тут в чате? Ага. Я сегодня, наверное, ничего не буду делать на стриме. Лучше я свежим сяду на следующей неделе. Мы будем продолжать делать этот пак. Вот, чтобы, наверное, можно было сказать. Вот, я много жаловался на тему того, что все такое боксовое из из работ. Давайте мы посмотрим, как же это можно сделать иначе. На примере какого-нибудь подобного бокса. Потому что все равно все начинается с бокса. Но как это можно сделать более интересно? So I will show you an example about how to make maybe boxes a bit more interesting. And for example, you can take this box and you have the human inside, so you just switch to the top view. And as we have box cutter, I would recommend you like to cut by boxes, because actually why you should do this, if you can cut by endguns, and you will receive like more interesting results almost in no time. For example, you can use something like this. So, and again, so we have interesting shape from the top view, so then you can just switch to the side view. So in our case it's found. Okay, let's do this right. And again, so you have these shapes, and again using this box cutter, so we can change this shape a bit. Maybe something like this. And also don't forget that with holding Shift key, you can make this shape live, and you can explore the shapes. And on this moment, so you are just exploring the base shape. Cool. Okay, let's again. Так, версия блендера, да, 2.8.3 у меня. Так. Так, что у нас здесь? То есть, к примеру, вот это у нас базовая форма. То есть это уже выглядит не как бокс. То есть это уже что-то чуть более сложное. Так, а ну-ка. После этого мы можем, допустим, посмотреть точно так же. Эта форма до сих пор выглядит скучно у нас с вида с фронтального. So this shape is still boring from the front view. So again, we can make it more interesting. Okay. So, and already we have something. So, and actually we can still working on the main shape. And you can see how it's becoming like more and more unusual. Yeah, that's it. So we can continue working on this shape. And actually, I would say that it's the main shape. So we are not working with middle shapes at all. And also you need to keep in mind, for example, that when you are cutting something with boxes, you can also cut from these cutting boxes, and it's like very powerful technique. Because, for example, from the right side, you don't doing your environment today? No, I'm just a bit tired of this, so and I will start from the next week. It was really hard week, really strange projects, so which I'm working right now. So, and you're just cutting from this cutting box, or I already have applied all the booleans. 1 second. Okay, I have applied some of the booleans, and I think I can show you this idea. For example, here you have this box, and you can cut this box actually, and it gives you the opportunity to change some shapes. And again, so you can cut even from these boxes. So, and in this way, so you are not so limited by just cutting from one object or so. And also, for example, we have this shape, but also we can not only cut from this shape, so we can add to this shape and then cut from this added shape. Okay, so what we have here, I don't know what can be add here. Yeah, I think something like this. And also I would recommend to everyone to watch like some videos from the DQ machine, because that he is working on very interesting shapes because of these different bevels. I don't know how I can do this. Okay. And for example, you can add something like this. So you can control your shapes even more. So in this way, like step by step, so you can move from like boring boxes shapes to something more original. And also you can keep it non-destructive. Do you ZBrush sometimes? So yes, I'm using ZBrush sometimes. Hope you work going well for your customer. Keep good energy to work. Yeah. So I'm trying to do so. Hopefully this week, so this project will be finished. May I ask what happens with topology after all those booleans? The other way to ask using booleans is not a problem anymore in Altmax user. So yes, I would say that booleans are not a problem at all. And about me, so I think it wasn't even a problem before that. And you can, I think you will be surprised by the quality of booleans actually, especially after 3ds Max. What other interesting things can be done? For example, you have the shape, and you can use hard ops, and there is lattice. We can add some effects here. Yeah, so and also when you have this lattice, so you can just still you can exploring different shapes. So, and it, like to make it less boxy, some maybe some more organic shapes. Yep. Я понял. Я не могу их скейлить обычным путем, да? Ясненько. You can just move actually these points. So not enough. So and you can see how it just easily experiment with shapes. So for static models which won't be animated deformats, it's fine to use Boolean workflow, but it would require manual triangulation to move further down the pipeline. Yes, you can triangulate it, so because other way it will shade with artifacts. You can check video about endgrounds with clads. Можно латти скейлить без проблем. Ну-ка. Да, можно. Просто почему-то, я так понял, он использует Нет, очень стандартные ходки не работают. Да, здорово. Супер. Да, все, я понял. Это просто почему-то вот ходки не отрабатывают стандартно, надо поправить. Вот, и эта форма, допустим, в разы интереснее, чем то, что было изначально, то есть тоже что-то такое более уникальное. Можно, допустим, от этого уже отталкиваться дальше. Так, использую ли я add-on Mesh Machine? Да, использую. Oh, it's some cool effects here because I think the object is affected by this lattice, but in a very strange way. And also, if you're working, for example, with concepts, so sometimes you can just, for example, to use, I think where it was, mesh tools. So here we have some voxelize object. It doesn't work, why not? There's no attribute use dynamic for sculpting. Okay, maybe we need to before that everything was working great. Using booleans and max generates holes, artifacts, makes crashes, SSD brush live booleans work perfect. I don't know blend at all, but here it seems fine as well. Yes, and with using like box cutter, so you just can do really crazy things. So, and they are actually non-destruction. I'm not really a big fan of non-destruction workflow, but so when you're just in the beginning and when you can change a lot of things, it can be useful. Okay. Да, я бы вот что-то вот такое, наверное, делал. So, and this will be all for today. Experimenting more with the shapes. Care more about proportions, about presentation of your works. Did you try finding form in Adobe Medium or Gravity Sketch? So actually I have VR set. I have Oculus Quest, the first edition, but I didn't have time to try it properly. I'm just playing Half-Life Alyx, and that's all what I'm doing. Yeah, but in future, yes, I'm going to explore it. And I don't know, I'm using not non-wireless, non-cable connection, so it's wireless between my PC and Oculus Quest. And I don't know, so is it possible to try, but we have to give it a try, medium. So I don't know, can I use medium without this cable or not? Because I have this cable, but it's just not very long, so I just need to sit. And maybe a bit later I will make the stream just in VR. No, only controllers. I will have a look because before that, so I was trying it, but it was when they, I don't know, there is a ton secret and cleaning after, but it's the best blockout in exploration. Yeah, I think so. You gave me a good idea about what I should do. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Спасибо всем, кто смотрел. Новые стримы будут на следующей неделе. Будем продолжать делать вот эту вот колонию. Будем заниматься новыми элементами, потому что все старые я уже деталями снабдил.